So we woke up to very devastating news on 17 January, Thursday, that one of ANAS's team members had been killed. That information was first released on social media and was immediately confirmed by the traditional media. Ahmed was one of ANAS's team members. ANAS is a globally known investigative journalist who has done work in many parts of Africa on various issues. It was reported and we confirmed that Ahmed was shot dead by unknown gunmen on motorbikes at a place called Medina, not far from Accra. He was shot 3 times, once in the neck and twice in the chest at 10 p.m. on Wednesday night. So far, the police say they are investigating, but they have not made any arrest yet. Ahmed was buried yesterday following Islamic tradition after his body was released by the hospital officials to the family. So that's what we know so far, and a lot of journalists and commentators have been very unhappy and upset about this whole incident. Ken.
So how would you say the mood was during the burial? I see he's getting status as a national hero right now.
Well, Anas is already a national hero, so Anas is known for his daring work. So even without the shooting of Ahmed and the death, Anas is already well known. But the circumstances is what makes this very interesting. Don't forget there were 2 major things they investigated in the past year: judicial corruption, major investigation, and then football corruption, which led to the lifetime ban for former Ghana Football Association CEO, Kwesi Nyantakyi. So that, and then the brazen nature of the attack, is what has really gotten people emotional. And yesterday at the funeral, the family was very, very emotional and unhappy. They were calling for justice. The President of the Republic has assured that, or he has urged the security agencies to make sure they get to the bottom of the matter. Various groups have sent very strongly worded statements condemning what can be considered a rarity, Ken, because although journalists are attacked in Ghana, the killing of a journalist is quite rare. This would be, if you want, the second major killing of a journalist in the past over 30 years. Although other journalists have died, this is the most brazen and this is the most shocking of all of these.
So how do you think this will impact press freedom in Ghana, especially for people who are doing that daring work of investigative journalism?
Already, the Media Foundation for West Africa has issued statements. In April 2018, they recorded 17 incidents of attacks against journalists, some by police, some by military, and some by political people. So already there's been a worrying trend about how intolerant Ghana's democracy is to journalists and their work. But this death is a real low because ANAS's work and investigative journalism is very important, but not as commonplace as ordinary journalism. And so to have a member of ANAS's team killed in this manner, although a motive has not been established yet and no arrests have been made, many people are linking this to the work ANAS does. And therefore, a lot of journalists are feeling concerned. There's a lot of trepidation. And if you look at Ghana's stature as a democracy, this has taken a dent. In fact, a listener to my radio show this morning said the killing of Ahmed Hussein-Suale has taken Ghana back a decade in its march towards press freedom.
Okay, as a journalist operating in that environment, beyond the talks by the president, on and then urging the police authorities to, trying to investigate this matter and bring it to a conclusion, how confident are you that this will happen?
Well, one of the things people consider crucial to what has happened was the way people talk about journalists on air. There's growing intolerance for the work of journalists, not just by politicians, but by even ordinary party supporters. Don't forget, Ghana's democracy is quite vibrant. We've had successful change of governments, but we know that successful democracies are more than simply changing of governments. A lot of people are intolerant of the work of journalists, and therefore we journalists are quite concerned about the unresolved cases. In fact, I could tell you that there have been over 20 instances of deaths reported over the past few years, not of journalists, but generally, which have not really been resolved. So a lot of people feel that the police and authorities need to get to the bottom of this to restore confidence. A private organization, a civil society organization, wrote to the police CID asking them for status reports on unresolved killings over the past 15 years. a lot of these things have not been resolved. So some people feel that beyond the president's urge to the police, there needs to be serious personal interest. In fact, the Journalists Association urged the president of Ghana to take personal interest in this investigation if they are to get to the bottom of it. And I think that is what will bring back the confidence if they get the people who did this and establish a motive. When you look at the work that has been done by this team so far, and how would you say it has helped the life of the average Ghanaian? Tremendously, Ken, because a lot of Ghanaians know there's corruption in society, but the style Anas uses is unique in that he goes undercover with his team and they catch people red-handed. So they saw judges taking bribes. They saw football officials taking bribes to fix matches. This is live and it's shown on television. Everybody sees it. It's very crucial to put fear in people who want to use their positions to be corrupt. And it also brings confidence in knowing that one day when people do wrong, they'll be found out. So their work is very impactful. They've done work in all kinds of areas. It's not just football. It's not just judiciary. So a lot of Ghanaians are angry because they feel this is an attack on the last frontier. Don't forget, the media is the fourth estate of the realm, and in Ghana it's considered the last frontier because the media coverage has helped our democracy to function better because it creates accountability for duty bearers to their citizens. So this is a big issue, and the media freedom is being tested, and a lot of eyes are watching what will happen after this to see whether they will get to the bottom of the matter. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Bernard.